Hello, my name is Torbjørn Petersen, and I am an architect from Denmark at the Royal Danish Academy of Architecture. I have been given the task to create 3 movie segments trying to answer the question of how architecture can contribute to the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals. In this segment that you are about to see, we will visit the UIA Commission on Sustainable Development and get some reflections on where we are now, but also what is actually needed to achieve the goals by 2030. So without further ado, please enjoy.
Hello, my name is Natalie Mossen and I'm an architect from Denmark. I'm a co-chair of the UIA Commission on Sustainable Development. Back in 2015, the United Nations approved an ambitious new policy, the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 goals are important and special in the sense that they go across all aspects of sustainable development, from the humane and social to the environmental and the climate. It's both the green and the red agendas, so to speak. The 17 goals include issues such as no poverty, goal number 1, health and well-being, goal number 3. It's also gender equality, it's peace, justice and strong institutions, it's life on land. The issues are broad and diverse, but combined they put out an outline of where we need to go, globally speaking, in our societies, in our daily lives, if we are to create a sustainable society.
Welcome you all to UIA, International Union of Architects. I'm architect Ishtiyaq from Bangladesh. I represent UIA Sdg Commission as the co-director. Along with me, we have another co-director, Natalie Mossen from Denmark. UIA is an more than 70 years old organization, only organization for architects. And we've been the global organization where bring all together the built environment professionals together. Now we estimated more than 100 countries in this organization, and we cherish our diversity and partnership together in this journey. And UIA Sdg Commission is a very new commission, and we have been trying to disseminate our mission, and we have members from France, Italy, Uruguay, USA, Brazil, China, Nepal, Egypt, Nigeria. So it's across the 5 regions of UIA, the global. So our commission's mission is through the establishment of a commission that respond directly to SDGs. We think that UIA can be influential in raising the awareness among the architects on SDG and creating knowledge and facilitating communication and disseminate the information across global network of our members so that we can implement the agenda for sustainable development goal by 2030 and prescribing its implementation and monitoring. So in 2015, there was a global decision that SDG would come up. And along with SDG in 2015, we had the Paris Agreement, and also we had Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. These 3 together leads to, for us, for architects, to create a better world by 2030. Adapt the policy statements so that in our all activities, so that the 17 goals can be understood and implemented by the architects. And also our platform, it will be a platform where we can exchange our views among our members, and also we express our through seminar and symposium the idea of how to engage with SDGs. The 17 goals are Some people say impossible goal, but I personally think this is an doable goal if we all together work on it. This is because we need partnership. We architects alone or the government alone or any other agency cannot do that. We have to have other stakeholders engaged, and this will be, the architects need to be engaged. We are the people, we are on the ground, and we have to do it with a proper engagement, proper monitoring, because whatever we do in the built environment, that has an impact. There are positive impact, there is negative impact. To reduce down our negative impact on the Mother Earth, we have to be responsible, we have to act responsibly. So this is very important for us, and that's why Natalie Mosin and our KDK from Denmark and also UIA Sdg Commission jointly worked very hard. We came up with 2 volumes where more than 200 works have been displayed, and you can see that each of the 17 goals architect can contribute. This is very, very important. We can contribute when the goal number 1, the poverty, goal number 2, hunger, even goal number 11, the sustainable communities. So every goal, the climate change, well-being, everywhere architects can contribute. So this is the showcase, the book you can go through. This is in our website, and you can get the link together. So the built environment, some people say, is the major consumer of energy and natural resources, and a massive producer of the waste. Furthermore, how we build can exacerbate inequalities and affect health. This is very important, that how do we build, how do we construct things, and we have to be responsive towards using the material, and also not having a big impact on the Mother Earth. So we call upon government, civil society, and private sector to help secure tighter government regulation, public demand for sustainable solution, and the investment. This is very important. When you do, the investor becomes a big issue, and sometimes, or most of the times, it actually dominates the profit motives, where the sustainability issues are ignored or compromised. So I think we from our UIA Sdg Commission, we take the UN Habitat New Urban Agenda as our own, and we endorse UN 17 SDG, and we pledge to achieve carbon neutrality in our communities and the buildings by end of 2050. That is the target. I know very few cities in the world already targeted to be carbon neutral cities. Now architects, through their development work, through their build environment, through their design, innovative way. Innovation is another aspect. We have to be very much engaged, very much involved through our creative works to be innovative, to come up with a new solution. The convention solution, what exists at the moment in the globe, cannot handle the SDG achievements. It is an impossible, it's a very difficult task, but we have to act innovatively to do that. Now I come tell you what we are doing in our commission. We have projects, we have reports, we engage into ourselves into seminar, symposium. Recently, we have done Urban Thinker Campus along with UN Habitat, and we've been doing 4 Urban Thinker Campus last 3 years. That is engaging all stakeholders and architects together and think about the urban issues, what we do, the open spaces, the carbon neutrality, the climate change issues. And we intend to do the summer school for young architects. Youth is the most vibrant people whom we should actually engage into our SDG Commission so that they can take forward. the climate change and those issues are mostly accepted by the young people of our in the globe. So young architects need to engage. So we engage every 3 years. We have the triennium, our conference, and in Rio this year we are having in July. But unfortunately, because of COVID situation, we cannot have a physical summer school. So maybe hopefully we will have a good one in 2023 in Copenhagen, the summer school. Also, we have done a big survey among our all member sections, the architects, architecture firms, architectural institutes, how they are engaged themselves into SDGs. So if the institutes are engaging to understand what is the sustainable development goals, so then we can engage our individual architects into the design exercise. And also recently we have, along with UN Habitat, we have came up with a new idea, new project being launched in July next in a couple of months. We will launch this summer SDG award. That is, we called it UIA 2030 award. This award is to recognize sustainability and climate change, and what I mentioned, the disaster risk reduction into our cities, and the projects we will collect from our 5 regions, and those projects will be recognized through UIA and through our SDG Commission. And this is a biennial event. Every 2-year World Urban Forum takes place. Next year, it will be in Katowice in Poland in June 2022. So this is going to be another new layer of engaging architects through actually works implementation. So we have 10 years to go for implementing SDG, the goals. It is a very shorter time, a lot of things to be accomplished. So we have to move faster. Move faster means we have to implement, start implementing. We have been doing last 5 years discussion and bringing all parties together in one plate. But now time has come so that we are climate change friendly for disaster risk reduction. We also have another project, is what we call Sdg Compass. Sdg Compass is to how you evaluate a project in terms of SDG. So how do you evaluate a project, that how good is have the impact, positive impact on climate change? So through a committee, we design a compass so that we can, there are some criteria. Through those things, we can evaluate a project in terms of SDG. So we also have this another project we call the Indigenous Ecosystem Corridor and Nodes. We developed this with IFLA, International Federation of Landscape Architects, and UIA together, Sdg Commission. So this is to restore our ecosystem of the world. So we are actually destroying our ecosystem through our intervention into the built environment. So lastly, I would say it truly matters how people build, where, and at what cost for the people and the environment. So I would like to pledge to hold the goal of as the core of our action. This is very, very important, to build better cities for the benefit of all people while conserving our resources and using them wisely. This is very important that we be wise, otherwise we end up with a world where we are not comfortable, not healthy for people to live in. Thank you very much.
The UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals are all relevant for architecture. The thing is that the built environment architecture today is a contributor to a lot of the problems we need to solve. Architecture and the built environment creates waste, is a huge consumer of energy and can also be part in creating barriers for inclusion and other social issues, access to housing and so on. What we need to realize as architects is that with the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we have a good, complex, but a good image of what we need to do. Where is it we need to contribute? We can use the goals to understand and discuss our own practice and to move it forward to an architectural environment in our cities, communities, workplaces, homes that are both inclusive, has strong humane values, and is also better for the environment. Leaves a smaller imprint, use local resource, use less resource, produce less waste, and so on.
My name is Ramatu Aliyu. I'm from the Nigerian Institute of Architects. I hold a PhD in Sustainable Community Development. I'm currently with the UIA SDG Commission. Well, the SDG so far has, will I say, has resulted in a change of thinking about the environment. Because before now, the main focus was on climate change within the built environment. But with the advent of the SDG and with the fact that the UN Habitat has so recognized architecture as vital in driving the 17 SDG, the thinking is changing in the architectural world, especially in Africa, region 5. It has actually impacted, although practice before now considered the elements within the SDG, the 17 SDG goal. But the way it is now, it is looked at holistically, the 17 SDG within the architectural practice. I know within my institute, a lot is ongoing relating to architectural practice and the SDG, not just relating to the climate alone, but focusing on the whole SDG with emphasis on goal 11 and 13, which we already have a grasp of. But where we have challenges, where a lot of people have challenges, is to get a clearer picture of all the other related, all the other goals, and the way it will work together to make a meaningful impact on architecture. And the main challenge now is actually goal 17, which is partnership for the goal. The built environment professionals and the NGOs don't seem to work in partnership towards achieving the goal, because everybody knows SDG as it concerns their specific areas. But coming together in synergy to get a holistic approach or a better result is still a challenge, despite all the sensitization. The sensitization is ongoing and vigorously too. And we think that by 2030, a lot of people will be aware of what this is all about. But the tempo now is quite good as far as I'm concerned. From the perspective of the government in regarding policies, as well as the practitioners in the built environment. It's already impacting the architectural environment. However, the fact that in my region, production of building material is quite limited. Emphasis is on modern architecture, thereby importation of building materials from all parts of the world, especially in China, from China rather. You find out that the embedded energy, and as it affects the environment, is quite high. Not until production of modern building materials is emphasized, I think we still have to have that challenge. However, majority of the people in the rural area already have their building material, local building material, and they are making a lot of stride in that respect. But it comes down to the same point again, that there is no coordination within that sector. Despite the fact that they are using locally available material, which is inherited, and traditional architecture to that aspect and the building material, there needs to be a coordinated approach to help this local technology to understand the impact they are making in the environment and how to better utilize this material for the benefit of everybody as well as the environment. That is the point we are now. And if I may diverge into the architectural education, a lot which actually is hinged on the sensitization. A lot of programs now, architectural programs for, let's say, for example, the continuous professional development component is hinged on this 17 SDGs, as well as the current impact of COVID-19 on the environment and how to build back the practice of architecture better using the SDG. So this is where we are now, and I believe we are on the right course. Only that the synergy is not there to work together. Who is going to bring that about? We know the UIA is bringing about the general understanding and the way forward within the architectural practice all over the world amongst its member sections. But UIA, to me, needs to work with all other professional associations worldwide, like the engineers, the oceanographers, and the rest, so that we have that synergy of integrating into one another to get the best out of the built environment, so that in the end, there will be that partnership. And without that partnership, I don't think we are really going to achieve the ultimate goals of the essence of the SDGs.
When we look out in the world today, when we look at the architecture that's being built, the good news is that already we can see strong and good examples of architecture that contribute to the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Those ideas and that realized practice is there today. What we need to do is to share the knowledge about those solutions, to discuss what is the next step, and to have it happen again and again in our practice as architects all over the world. Also in education, already today, there is an engagement with sustainability issue. We're seeing young generations of architects truly engaging in both social and environmental sustainability issues and moving the practice of architecture forward to something that will be better for people and for the planet. That's encouraging news. The practice is there, the emerging practice is there. What we need to do is already before us. But at the same time, it's not happening often enough. We're not seeing the scale we need. There's still too many square meters being built without regard for local materials, without regard for local climate. There's still too much of what we do that contributes to an unsustainable practice in architecture. And that's why we need to be inspired. We need to look at all that is happening. And then we need to share it, adopt it, and do it every time we build.